Roxanne is up next. Roxanne's in Kentucky. Hey, Roxanne, what's up?
Hello, how are you doing?
Great. How can we help?
Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I'll give you a quick background, and then I'll ask my question. My husband is a physician for 21 years. In the past 10 to 12 years, he's been making investments off and on, some that I've known about, some that I haven't. 2 years ago, I found out that he had taken out some loans and credit cards without me knowing, and took out $287,000 in debt to invest in certain variety of things. I found out about it. We paid it all down. We sold the house last year. He said that we sold the house and downsized so we could pay off some of that debt or pay it off. And he told me he wouldn't do it again, that he wouldn't make these decisions without me doing it, with my knowledge. And Saturday night, I found out that he had taken $45,000 against his 401k and made another investment in December. So as of Saturday, I've been living in the guest room, and I'm not sure where to go from now. I told him last time he did it, I would leave, but I'm not sure if that's something I should do or not do.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen a marriage counselor?
We went one time, and then last January, and I don't quite remember why we didn't go back. Honestly, I don't think he really wanted to go back. I thought maybe we could work it out ourselves, so we haven't. No.
So if you were going to call him names, would you say he's a liar or he's arrogant?
He lies to me a lot.
About other things?
And oh yeah. Like when I asked him, when did he make that? I found out Saturday he did the 401k. I said, I assumed it was with all the other stuff 2 years ago. And so I kind of went outside to do our work that night. We were actually listening to Dave Ramsey on the Principal University Saturday night. And then it dawned on me, I said, when did you take out this loan? Because it's only been paid back $800 in 2 years. I said, when did you take this out? He goes, oh, I don't remember. I said, when did you take out this loan? Sometime in the past, I don't remember. And I looked it up because I figured out where it was. It was through his work, and it was December. So, yeah, he's lied in the past. I'll say, hey, did work go out slow?
About non-money things, does he lie?
Yeah. I'll say, oh, you stuck at work today? He's like, yeah, it was a long day. And then find out later that he actually was out shopping and doing different things.
Has he cheated on you before?
Not cheat, no.
What's cheat?
Like affair or anything? No, has not.
What about a history of addiction?
Addiction? Mm-hmm. The only addiction is this money. He wants to get rich quick. Addiction is shopping at discount stores and bringing home. I mean, he has like 25 water bottles. You know what I mean? Refillable water bottles. He has addiction of it's a good deal, so I've got to get it.
So you called to ask a question about money, and I'll pipe in, and then Dave, you've worked with these type of situations for 30 years. This doesn't sound like about money at all. Dave nailed it. This is about deception and lying, and really this is about fantasy. And so if there's not a history of infidelity also, or also a history of addiction, I actually did some research with a group. I called them resistant influentials, which was doctors and lawyers and presidents of things and preachers, folks who were real smart and accomplished in one area of their life, and they like to drag that perceived expertise all the way across. They ended up with a wake of broken marriages and hurt people as they tried to take what they perceived as this all-knowing power and insight and wisdom into every facet of their life. The real question is, you can't make him stop. And you have this fantasy that it's going to get better, and this is what my marriage is going to look like. And at the end of the day, you know this, but whining and nagging, complaining, reasoning, none of those behaviors will make him stop. He's got to decide it. And so I default back to a psychologist who I love, Terrence Real, who just says, you've got to draw a line. You have to have a if you don't, this will happen statement. And then you've got to have done the math on the back end, both spiritually and emotionally and financially, to say, here's my line here. But the reality is this is not going to stop. And it clearly is not going to stop, especially, with the wounds of just coming over 2 or $300,000 paying back and then hopping right back in it. And so you're going to have to ask.
That was the second time. Yeah.
That's right.
That's actually not prior. So I keep hoping it's going to stop, and it's not. So I don't know what.
So hope is a fantasy.
I think the thing that's missing out of this is you guys need someone in your life guiding you, and you don't have anybody. There's no one that he respects that is looking at him saying, "You are a screw up. You are messing up your life." And so a good counselor will gain his confidence, not with manipulation, but just with relationship, and earn the right to say that and say, "You are screwing up your life, and you're going to have to stop this." A good pastor in his life, a senior friend in his life, that would sit down and guide the two of you. That also would give you some steps. I would never tell you in a 2-minute synopsis of your life that your marriage is over and you need to leave, unless he's hitting you and then you need to get out of there. But short of that, but what you're calling about is you're just trying to confirm you're not crazy, and you're not. But you do need. But I wouldn't just walk out. I would do some work on this.
Absolutely.
And go get some help. And if he won't go by yourself and get some guidance on how to draw the lines that John is talking about.
Okay. Well, I just actually found a counselor for myself because I don't even know how to approach this anymore.
Exactly. Good.
So she's going to help me.
Good.
So, and I can't drag him to counseling, so maybe I should start with my own counseling, and then
that's fine. Or just tell him we ought to go. I'm going to a counselor, and we ought to go to marriage counseling also. There's nothing wrong with doing both simultaneously, because you just need some guides, because both of you are, you just got a lot of trees around you, and it's hard to see the forest right now, and so you need someone to walk with you through this, and to give you a thing of saying, okay. Yeah, here's a map that is logical, a flow chart, if you will, that says if this continues at this point, I am done. But you can communicate that to him then, and you've communicated it one time, a long time ago, and then now you've got this one violation. But if it's continually, if there's a drumbeat of this is how this works, this is how this works, this is how that works, and because that's what happens with people, for instance, that are married to an alcoholic, they come to the end that they've done all they're willing to do, and then that relationship's over because of the alcoholism, and that's what's going to happen here. You will come to the end, but you need to come there
with a guide. You've got to have somebody to go with you. With a guide
and with a path of incremental and lots of communication to him, to where he doesn't feel like, here's another example that is a parallel to this. When we have someone on our team out of our 1,000 folks that is not able to do the job or has some kind of a behavior issue in the way they're acting here at work, we don't just walk in and go, surprise, you're fired. We walk in and go, here's the things that you're doing wrong. Here's what you're going to have to not do. Here's what you're going to have to do in order to be able to stay. And then the first time they're half a button off on one of those, we say, whoop, time out. We said, remember, you got to get back in the lane, get back in the lane. And what we will fire you over is not a singular event unless it's a major issue, but we will fire you over a pattern that is heading the wrong direction, that we have clearly communicated to you. You are heading down a road that leaves here. Now, do you want to stay on that road? And that's what you're telling him. But it's a pattern.
He gets to make the choice.
And then, in a sense, it's the natural consequences of him not dealing with this.
And Roxanne, put him in the guest room. Go back in your bedroom. He doesn't get to sleep in the big bed. You do.